Alright guys, so here we are once again for another unboxing, and today we're going to be looking at the ARRMA Typhon, or Typhoon. And normally Typhoon spelt with two O's, but this one only has one. I don't know if there's a copyright there or something, but yeah, it's, I suppose, call it Typhon. They could have called it Jerry, I don't really care, because I love the look of this buggy and it looks very, very promising. As you can see here, it says 60 plus miles an hour on the box. That is not a misprint, it can run 6S straight out of the box. It is ready to run, waterproof, brushless of course, and comes with a 2-year warranty, which I'm sure has some terms and conditions attached to it. I've been waiting for this thing since February. ARRMA or somebody posted up some spy shots from some expo from both the buggy and the truggy, which Rich from the RC network has already unboxed. He kind of beat me to that one. Tower Hobbies don't have the truggy in stock as of yet, but I'm sure over the next few days they will be there, and I will be getting that one as well. I couldn't quite decide between the two. I was pretty dead set on the truggy, but then this came out first and I thought, bugger, I'm just going to get both of them, I don't care, because I don't have a lot of truggies and I don't have a lot of buggies, so why not get both and try them out. Now, all of this 60 plus miles an hour, 6S, waterproof, ready to run for $430 US, which I think is very, very good value when you take into account that the 835V from Duratrax back there is $399. For a mere $30 more, you get this beast that can run 6S straight out of the box. Just think about that for a second. Well, I need a moment. I'm sorry. I need to take 5. So yeah, really good value, at least on paper. So let's get cracking. Open this guy up. You can see they've actually done this pretty cleverly. The front of the box has the front of the buggy showing, the back of the box has the back of the buggy showing, and then one of the sides is just a side shot. Very, very clever. And on the opposite side there's actually some details here about the shocks and the diffs and all of that stuff, which I'm going to run you through anyway. So we're going to take the lid off here, toss that guy aside. In here, first thing I'm greeted with is a bag full of stuff. Wow, there's actually quite a lot of stuff here. I'll open up the bag very quickly and just show you what you get. First thing in my hand looks like a spare pinion, which is in fact the high-speed pinion gear. I'm assuming that this guy here is what's going to take us to the 60 plus mile an hour as printed on the box. Little antenna tube and the bind plug. Nothing too exciting there. Nice little bag of tools. They've got a couple of cross wrenches in here. We've got a great big one for your 17mm hexes on the wheels, a little one, and a bunch of Allen keys as well that will allow you to obviously work on the RC. So very nicely done from ARRMA to equip all of that. We've also have some plastic bits here, which I'm assuming may have something to do with the battery tray. I'll have to find out what these are exactly later on. Little leaflet. Which, okay, looks like miles on one side, kilometers on the other. So this is kind of a guide for all your gearing and 4S and 6S and all that type of thing, to sort of give you an indication of what mile an hour you're going to be getting out of the buggy. So done a little bit of homework there, which is nice. And then of course you have your manuals and some other literature in here, which I'm not going to go into too much. We all know what that is. Oh wow, let's have a look at this guy. Look at that. Wow. All right, I really want to get my hands on this buggy, so let's run through very quickly through the remote, which I already know what it looks like. This is the same remote that I got last year when I unboxed the ARRMA Raider. So this is your standard run-of-the-mill FlySky remote. Little flipper door at the back here, which comes with some nice trims. You have reverse switches up the top, a binding button, a couple of LED lights, steering trim, throttle trim, and steering dual rate, and of course the on and off switch just on the back here, which is quite nice. And this guy runs on 4WD, and I can see already that the tray pops out, so you can unplug this and actually run a single rechargeable battery if you want to do that, of course, save you having to buy 4WDs all the time. Collapsible antenna, drop down wheel with a nice little foam on there. Just a nice remote, it does the job perfectly fine. All right, let's tackle the buggy, see if I can get this guy. I know that it's not tied in, so it's just a matter of getting him out of the box. Come on, out you come, here we go. All right, here it comes. We'll get rid of this guy, we won't need that. And wow, I mean, wow, look at this. It is just a work of art. I mean, the body on this thing is just unbelievable. Look, it just looks fast. I mean, the thing's probably doing about 40 miles an hour now. It doesn't even have batteries in it. It's unbelievable. The carbon fiber, I mean, the detail on the body. I'll give you guys another look at this later on. But I mean, honestly, whoever designed this body at ARRMA, I think deserves a pay rise personally. I mean, that is outstanding. Suspension, oh my God. Wow. ARRMA, you sneaky dog, you did a really good job here. That is very, very nice indeed. Very impressed, very nice. It's just well dialed in. Really good. Tires, I gotta say, a little bit iffy. I'm not 100% sold on the tires. They feel a little firm, which I guess is good for durability, but of course you do sacrifice a little bit of grip when you go for something like a slightly harder compound. I don't think they're terrible, like the tread pattern is terrible at all. I think these will do a decent job. Of course, you know, it's always going to be difficult for any manufacturer to come up with a ready-to-run tire that's going to please everyone. You can't exactly predict where they're going to be run and how, so I can see the thinking behind doing something with a slightly harder compound, but they're not bad. Certainly not the worst tires I've felt in a ready-to-run. Wow, I mean, look at this thing, it just looks insane. I love it. Alright, so let's take the body off and let's really dig into all the nitty-gritty stuff. I'll take you through all my first impressions and show you all the good points on this guy. Taking the body off, and it's just, I mean, look at this thing, it's just a work of art. All the little grooves back here, and then it's got like this little scoop at the front, which I'm sure you can probably cut out, and you know, all of these you can probably cut out a little bit as well if you want to, and get some ventilation going through the body, keep everything nice and cool. Very well thought out. On the underside, of course, it's all screen printed, and I know that you know, Rich from the RC network had these stickers on the body of his Kraton, which is the truggy version, and this is actually a really clever idea because it helps protect the print of the body against, you know, rubbing of batteries and cables and so forth, and even the side of the chassis itself, just to protect it, stop it from coming off. So just, they've thought of a few good things here. I'm actually, you know, that's a tiny little thing that I think is going to make a big difference. Oh my God, look at this thing. I'm so impressed by it. That is so nice. Alright, so let me just shut my mouth here and get back to it. First, we'll start with, we've got a waterproof receiver box. Now, I know that the camera can't pick this up, but there is a red seal all the way around this receiver box, so you know it's going to be properly waterproofed. Very, very nice. We've got our Dean's connectors already on the plugs here on your cables, and they've got this little loop here. This is if you want to run a single 4S pack or even a single 6S pack. You can do that with this cable. So well thought out by ARRMA, I think. And of course you can take that off and run 2S or 3S in series. The center drive shafts, oh my God, these things look like they belong on a Mack truck. They are thick. They look like they're 4mm, and they don't thin out towards the ends. So thick all the way through. And even the drive shafts on the front and the rear, very thick. Really, I mean, outstanding. CVDs at the front I can see already, and looks like, yeah, standard dog bones at the rear. And I guess, you know, that makes sense because you're not doing any steering at the rear. I can also see pre-installed droop screws on the car, so that will allow you to sort of sink it down a little bit if you want to, which probably come in handy for those speed runs, keep the car nice and low. These shocks, I mean, full aluminium threaded body shocks with the little rubber boots on there to protect your shafts. Very pro. The shock towers as well look very thick. They look like to be about 4mm as well. They are pressed, but given the thickness that they are, I mean, these are probably going to have to take a pretty big hit for you to do any damage to them. Bracing as well on from the front, from this aluminium plate here, bracing all the way down to the center of the chassis, and of course from the rear shock tower just here all the way to the center. And I like these little touches that they've got that I can see. You know, there's a little clip here in this brace just to clip the wires and keep them away. Same thing on the motor here, comes down and it clips down to this little plastic piece, keeping everything nice and tidy. There's these little ARRMA touches everywhere. I mean, you can see the symbol, the ARRMA symbol on the aluminium plate. There's ARRMA printed on the battery box, on the receiver case, the diff casing. The motor is a 2050 kV 4-pole brushless motor. Looks to be about 40 by 74 or 76 millimeters, so decent size, true 1/8 scale. Really beefy aluminium motor mount as well, very, very strong. Of course, everything runs on Mod 1 gearing, and you have 3 oil filled or fluid filled shocks as it says on the box. Adjustable camber link at the rear, so very nice indeed. Very beefy A-arms as well. I mean, here's the underside of the chassis, and everything uses hex hardware. Really thick A-arms, and even the hinge pin brace here that runs all the way through, might be able to see it. This looks like a good 4mm stick, which is about twice the thickness of most other 1/8 scale vehicles that I've seen. There's also an aluminium steering link running through underneath this aluminium plate. Front and rear pre-installed sway bars, which I guess, you know, that's going to help with the suspension and the turning and everything else. While I've got my hand on the spoiler, oh my god, this thing's flexible. Look at that. So, I mean, the brace for the spoiler, the spoiler mount is all plastic, but it's very thick. Looks to be okay. And of course, you know, having a flexible spoiler like this just means that, you know, you're probably not going to really break anything. It's going to bounce clean off. Wow. What else can I tell you? We've got pillow bowl suspension at the front, so you guys can see that there. And look at that. You've actually, oh, you can see that really well there. You've actually got these aluminium nuts holding in your pillow bowls in place, and there's also a little for your steering knuckle. There's a little aluminium arm. The knuckle itself, I mean, because it is a pillow bowl, it's all plastic, but that little arm is actually aluminium, so another nice little touch there, just for a bit of added strength. Looks like we have an adjustable servo saver in there as well. Steering servo says 15 kilograms rather, waterproof, and I can see that there's already an aluminium servo horn on there as well. And of course the ESC, if I haven't said this before, the ESC is actually 180 amps. 180 amps. Now my Hobby Wing ESC that I have on my rival is 150, and that's ample to be able to run 6S. But this one is 180. I mean, again, for $430, I need another moment. I really do. So, yeah, $430, and you get this buggy. And mind you, the Kraton, which is the truggy version, is $499, which I cannot wait to get my hands on that as well, because you know, my ST4, both my ST4 and the Sabertooth have been very good buggies, or truggies rather, and I cannot wait to try that one out and just see how it holds up and how it compares with those other two. The chassis itself, it looks to be 3mm, so decent. Should be pretty strong, especially with all this bracing and everything else. And I think that's it. I think I've covered pretty much everything. If you guys have any questions about this buggy, if you're, you know, if I've missed something, you've seen something and that I haven't covered off, by all means, please post a little comment down below, and I'll do my best to get back to you. I will have links in the description for both the for the buggy, so you guys can go onto the ARRMA website and check out some of the specs there. I also have a link in the description for my Facebook page, which will of course keep you a couple of steps ahead of what goes on here on YouTube. And I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. I am actually going to spend a little bit of time with this guy tonight. get it all dialed in and set up for a bit of a run over the next couple of days. I will be doing a speed run, which is coming up, which I'll be doing for RC Speed Week, which is coming up very soon. And of course, I'm going to be taking it out to the BMX track and testing it out. You can notice here that it's actually got a fair bit of ground clearance, I guess, hence the droop screws, so you can actually lower this guy, bring it down a bit, and you know, do your speed runs without having too much air getting underneath the chassis there. So I think ARRMA have done a very good job. I mean, first impressions, I'm absolutely blown away. This thing looks insane. It looks fast, looks very well built. Let's hope it holds up. That's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video before you go, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe as well. And yeah, I'll catch you next time.